Hello, Helen here. Welcome to my Christmas card series for 2018. My first card in the series is going to be a very clean and simple shaker card. So I'm going to be using a card base and a red and a white card panel. I'll have the measurements on my blogs in inches and in centimetres. So if you go to the link to the blog post in the description underneath the video, you'll be able to get all the measurements for that. For the shaker part, I'm going to be using this Impression Obsession Christmas Circle cutout die. Now it comes with 6 different cutouts, but I'm only just going to be using 3 today. And then I'm going to use this Poppy Stamps Folk Merry Christmas die for the sentiment. And lastly, I'm going to be using this Cottage Cuts circle die, but it could be any circle die. And I'm just going to cut out the hole where the shaker bits are going to go, just a little bit bigger than the cutouts of the Christmas part. The next thing to do is to place my dies where I want to cut the patterns out. So I'll lay them down and spread them out along the bottom part of the front white card panel, making sure that I've got them facing the right way that I want them, and then I'm going to use a ruler to just make sure they're aligned along the bottom, and then I'll stick some washi tape on just to stop them moving until I've run them through my die cutting machine. Before I put the acetate behind the dies to seal them off, I'm going to get the craft foam ready. That's going to be sandwiched between the white and the red panel, and that's going to give me the depth to be able to put the shaker particles or beads in behind each of the die cuts. So I need to be able to draw where the circles are on the front panel so that I cut the circles out where the beads are going to be. So I'm just going to lay the panel down onto the craft foam where I want that to sit, and then just draw around the circles where I can, and it'll give me an idea of where I need to die cut the circles that are going to be the reservoirs for the beads. So then I go ahead and die cut each of those and then check that it's all aligned nicely. I've already stuck down the red panel onto my white card base, and now I can go ahead and stick down the acetate. I glued that to the white panel at the back behind the die cuts. Sorry, the camera stopped taping there, so I haven't got the video for that part of it. I've also got 3 holographic pieces of foil ready, just big enough to go behind the craft foam circles. So I've got a red, a silver and a green holographic paper. I can now stick those down onto the red panel that's on my base card. I'm just putting the card front on all the time just to make sure I'm getting the foil squares in the right place. Once I've all of those on, I can then stick my foam, the craft foam, which I've got put double-sided tape onto both, down onto the card base. So once that's done, I'm ready to start filling the holes that I've made in the craft foam with the seed beads. I only had really small green ones to go in the green section, but I had fairly big ones for the red and silver, so I'm hoping they're going to be alright. So I put a few of each of those in, and then I'm ready to stick the card front down on top. The last thing I need to do is put my sentiment on. Now what I did with that is I cut 3 of each of the words, Merry and Christmas, 2 just ordinary red, and 1 I ended up using foil card, and I've stuck them on top of each other with glue. It's actually very easy to do, they all line up beautifully. So I've layered 2 red and 1 foil onto each one, which just makes it a little bit of a thicker sentiment, and it stands out on the card nicely. So I'll glue that onto the card front now, and that's the card finished. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this card. Give it a go, it's quite an easy one to make. People really like the shaker cards. I'll leave you looking at some photos of close-ups of the card, and I'll have a couple of suggestions of other Christmas cards at the end of the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I load my next Christmas card in the series. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time with the next Christmas card. Bye for now.